This is another at-home Vietnamese dish that you won't typically find at any Vietnamese restaurant. Canh đậu hũ cà chua, or tofu tomato soup with garlic chives, is a classic Vietnamese soup that's comforting, light yet still hearty, and it embodies the balance of flavors that's unique to Vietnamese food. Now, funny enough, as a kid, I actually thought this was a dish my mom randomly made up, but soups just like this one are a central part to cơm gia đình, or family meals in Vietnamese culture, which has significance as a way for families to come together and celebrate their relationships, heritage, and the love that holds them together through sharing food. So do me a favor and make sure you like, comment, share, and save this video.
That's comfortable.
Alright, y'all, remember to wash your hands. The first step in making our soup is getting all of our prep work done, starting with rehydrating a third cup of dried shrimp in some tap water. We'll rinse and drain it a couple of times to get rid of any impurities, and we'll let that soak and vibe out while we get the rest of our prep work done. Now I have a small shallot that I'll finely mince, and if you've watched my videos before, you already know that I like mincing my garlic cloves in bulk in the food processor ahead of time, but if you don't do that, go ahead and mince up a couple of garlic cloves now as well. We'll move that to the side, and then I have 2 large Roma tomatoes, and we'll just cut these up into fourths. Then this is some garlic chives, and if you've never had garlic chives before, they are similar to regular chives, but they do have a mild garlic flavor that actually intensifies when it's cooked, which will add a aromatic and herbaceous quality to our soup. And we'll just cut our chives into about 2-inch sections. Once we have that done, the last part of our prep is cutting our tofu. Now this is some soft tofu, and its velvetyness will add the perfect texture and mouthfeel to our soup, and it brings it all together. We'll just get the tofu out of its packaging and we'll drain the liquid. And then I'm just cutting them into about 1-inch cubes while being gentle as to not break the tofu up. Now that we have all of our prep work done, it's time to cook. To a small stock pot, we'll add in a splash of neutral oil. We'll saute our minced shallots and garlic until fragrant, and we're not looking to brown them off. So once they're translucent, we'll add in our rehydrated shrimp and cook that off for another minute. And if you like this recipe and you want to learn how to make more of your favorite Vietnamese and Asian dishes, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications to stay up to date on all my latest posts. We'll drop in our tomatoes and cook them for another couple of minutes, and this will help caramelize the natural sugars in the tomatoes, giving us more depth and complexity in our final product. Then to our pot, we'll add in about 2 quarts of water. We'll bring this up to a rolling boil and skim off any impurities. Then we'll add in our tofu. We'll reduce the heat and let that simmer covered for about 10 minutes. After that, we'll add in our garlic chives and let that cook and soften up for another couple of minutes. And then we'll season our soup with half a tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of fish sauce, and half a tablespoon of MSG. And with any of my recipes, I would encourage you to season them to taste and make any adjustments to fit your preferences. Now this recipe can also be made vegetarian friendly by removing the dried shrimp and fish sauce and substituting it with a pre-made veggie stock and salt instead. We'll ladle some of our soup into a bowl. Garnish with some fresh black pepper, and serve this along some rice and braised chicken. And then to make it a complete family meal, you can also pair it along some sliced cucumbers, blanched veggies, and something pickled. And just like that, you've made Canh đậu hũ cà chua at home. As always, the recipe and measurements are on my blog at feedthepudge.com. And if you've made it this far, let me know in the comments section, what's a dish that you thought your parents invented? Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.